Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about updates from sprint qualifying in Austin. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So I thought I'd start off the video by talking about Nico Hulkenberg. What a job he did in sprint qualifying. Hulkenberg has been fast all through the weekend so far, and to go P4 in the Sauber in sprint qualifying, that was seriously impressive. I don't think anyone was expecting that. But Hulkenberg, he just hooked up all of his laps and he got it spot on right at the end. So fair play to Hulkenberg, and he's ahead of Mercedes, ahead of both Ferraris, and Ferrari had an absolute disaster in Austin. In practice, they look decent, and that seems to be a theme for Ferrari this season. They look decent in practice, but then when the real thing starts, it seems their pace falls away. That's what happened in Austin. They were fighting to get into SQ3, just managed to do that, and then in SQ3, Lewis Hamilton was only able to go 8th, and Charles Leclerc was only 10th. So a really disappointing day for Ferrari. And Charles Leclerc didn't exactly give an encouraging verdict following qualifying, with him saying, as quoted by Sky F1, "Honestly, my lap was clean in SQ3. I don't regret much what I've done in my lap. Maybe a little bit more mileage this morning on the medium tyre. You can fine-tune the car a little bit better. There might be a tenth and a half in that, but it's not enough. We are so far behind now." Now, further up the grid, you had Max Verstappen taking sprint pole ahead of the two McLaren drivers of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, who line up second and third. And it was a brilliant lap from Verstappen. It was close between Red Bull and McLaren throughout sprint qualifying, but yeah, right at the end, Verstappen pulled off a really good lap. And once again, he's showing that the Red Bull car has improved massively since the summer break and can compete at all circuits now. And speaking about Max's lap, Red Bull team principal Laurent Mekies said, as quoted by Sky F1, "Honestly, it was an amazing job from the team and from Max. We were a touch behind the McLaren in SQ1, a touch behind in SQ2, a tenth and a half. We always knew it was going to be touch and go. Then Lando put a very good lap in SQ3 and it looked very difficult to match, and Max was line on line with Lando through most of the lap, but in the last corners he sent the car in and got the smallest of gap we needed for the pole. Whoever is nearly it now between us, McLaren and Mercedes, is going to have potential in their car to put it on pole. We are all very, very close, and certainly today the team and Max did a great job." Now, I would be worried if I were the McLaren drivers. You know, they still have a very fast car. Both their drivers are going to be in the driver's title fight, of course, but Max Verstappen keeps taking points out of them weekend by weekend since the summer break. I mean, he got 2 wins in September. He managed to beat them both in Singapore, and I think he's got a really good chance of beating them again in Austin. Verstappen is just doing a great job right now in that Red Bull. And speaking after Verstappen's sprint pole, McLaren team principal Andrea Stella said, as quoted by Sky F1, "It confirms that Red Bull have definitely improved their car. They are competitive now and can fight for victories and pole position at every kind of circuit. It's also positive to see that our car is here competitive compared to some other venues in which we struggled a little bit. It's a good result, not the result we wanted. We are here for pole positions, but I think it's a good foundation for the sprint race tomorrow, and also a good foundation to see where we can fine-tune a little bit of performance and give it another go at the pole position tomorrow." Now, I thought I'd end the video by talking about a new verdict that's been issued by the stewards. Basically, they say that multiple cars exceeded the 1 minute 55 time limit between the safety car lines during SQ1 in qualifying, and those drivers were Isaac Hadjar, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Nico Hulkenberg, Kimi Antonelli, and Lance Stroll. However, the stewards have decided no further action, with them saying in their verdict, "The drivers concerned stayed at or above speeds necessary to stay below 1 minute 55 around the vast majority of the circuit. However, In all cases, the stewards determined that the drivers took appropriate actions to not impede other drivers and slowed down significantly to allow other drivers to pass while giving those drivers a clear track. The stewards therefore determined that the drivers concerned did not drive unnecessarily slowly, and that evidently the reason they were above the maximum time was due to their appropriate actions and take no further action. Now, in my opinion, SQ1 was just a bit of a mess towards the end. I mean, you had cars just sitting in the pit lane, not going anywhere, and then you had them all fighting out on track as they tried to find track position and get to the line before the checkered flag fell. And some drivers missed out on getting to the checkered flag, like Yuki Tsunoda, and he will start the race from 18th tomorrow, so disappointing for him. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.